Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Duncan here. We've gotten several questions since our last video regarding the credit card use from Sheriff Chuck Wright. We've gotten a lot of questions about the next steps and why this isn't being investigated. For some of you, the information provided today will be nothing new. I'm sure I'll hear all of the negative feedback like I always do. But for the rest of you, you may find it educational, and I hope you do. That's all that matters, is the education I want to help you understand. So today's discussion with Duncan, we will be discussing the history of South Carolina sheriffs and some scenarios on what could or should happen next with Sheriff Chuck Wright.
To anyone in South Carolina who will abuse public office for private gain, we will find you and we will hold you to account.
Embezzlement in politics is nothing new. For as long as we have had politicians, we have had corrupt politicians. And South Carolina is no stranger to any of these practices. Just this month in Williamsburg, South Carolina, Sheriff Stephen Gardner was indicted by the state grand jury for embezzlement by a public official. Details are still being released in this case as it hasn't gone to trial yet, but the Post and Courier recently posted that Stephen Gardner is the 17th, yes, the 17th sheriff in South Carolina to be indicted since 2010. And in 2019, Florence County Sheriff Kenny Boone was charged with misconduct in office and embezzlement. He was ultimately found guilty of misusing public money between 2015 and 2018. Here you can see that twice Sheriff Boone was charged for utilizing public funds for personal gain, both times less than $10,000. Many of these charges resemble that of Sheriff Chuck Wright. Boone's guilty plea led to his removal from office and a prison sentence, which was reduced to probation. And ironically, Sheriff Boone was elected the sheriff the same year as Chuck Wright in 2004. Moving on to today's topic, we've had several questions asking why this isn't being investigated. Well, it is. County Council has essentially washed their hands of the whole thing. It was explained that they had no recourse to what the sheriff does, and they have no way to prove what any of the funds were actually used for because he never turned in any receipts. Hence why they allowed him to pay that insulting $1,100, which technically admits his own guilt. Am I wrong? In my opinion, County Council didn't even try to fix this by reporting the incident to the proper authorities or the agency that would investigate this. They've chosen to simply ignore it and hope it goes away, just like Sheriff Wright does, who, by the way, still has not addressed the issue. So much for transparency, huh? But wait, there's more. This has in fact been reported to South Carolina Ethics Commission. Why the Ethics Commission, you ask? Well, the Ethics Commission is responsible for the investigation of the violation of conflicts of interest, the misuse of public office for personal gain, bribery, nepotism, and other forms of corruption or unethical behavior. And I'm sure that in recent light of corruption and excessive spending in government, they will be doing everything within their power to prove or disprove the allegations of the misuse of Spartanburg County taxpayer dollars. But what happens if it is determined that other laws have been broken, such as federal law, for instance? Well, in that case, a federal agency such as the FBI or ATF would be required to handle that sort of case. That's their jurisdiction. They would then be responsible for the investigation of the alleged crimes and ultimately present the case to a federal grand jury for indictment. But I don't know if we have any complaints reaching that federal level. I guess only time will tell. I honestly believe that the good citizens of Spartanburg County have finally had enough, that they're fed up with being lied to and manipulated to believe the political garbage that they've been fed, that the citizens' eyes are wide open to the corruption that's been happening in plain sight for years, and that more people will come forward with the information that is needed to end the corruption in Spartanburg County. But that does it for today's discussions with Duncan. I hope that you found this video educational and informative. And if you did, then please feel free to share, because the more people we have eyes on this, the better off we'll be. And surprisingly, there are a lot of people who are still ignorant of these local issues, and that's no fault of their own. And for those that found this video stupid, I know who you are. But I want you to know that I appreciate you watching to the end anyway. Until next time, y'all take care and God bless.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you?